joint line now.
Can you take that and just hold it like this? No, I'm sorry. This one.
Is that what you wanted?
Over here. Grab this. Hold it.
Oh.
Hold it vertically. I think it's recording. Yeah, it's recording. So she can see it and everyone else can see it. Describe what you would describe to me so I can watch it.
Well, what's most important is the joint line. The joint line is this surface right here. This is the side that wasn't broke. Here's the side that was in about 20 to 30 pieces. And right now it's a nice, beautiful line, but I do not want you to walk on it because this is a lot of little pieces through here. It looks beautiful right now, but if you step on this, you will make it not as pretty. Does that make sense?
So I want to keep it pretty.
Yes.
For
Here's
I possibly can for my life.
Yes. Well, until I tell you to walk on it otherwise. But here's also your joint line. This just, you can look at your tibia here. That is about as anatomic as they get when they're as bad as yours. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So how long was the surgery? About how long did it take you?
Probably an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Hour and a half, 2 hours. So you say it went as beautiful as it possibly could.
You see that joint line?
Yeah.
It just went straight across. There was no step-offs. There's no
So
little pieces.
that joint line you put in.
I didn't put it in. You still recording me?
Yeah, I always record all my doctors.
No, you can't
I
do that.
do.
That's bizarre, man.
No, because it's the only way I can communicate. I forget what you say.
You're going to see me for months.
I
I've never
know.
had somebody record me before.
But I recorded my mom in a stroke just 2 weeks ago. That's how I communicated with the whole family. Not the
Okay, but most
that's
people
my
don't
real
record
mom.
people without telling them, I guess. Sorry,
Why you
bud. I
gotta
got to
do
check
that?
swelling. It's my job.
Your job
Sorry.
to hurt me.
It's my job to make sure you don't have compartment syndrome.
What else was I going to ask you that I wanted to ask you? So was there? So you didn't have to piece the cartridge together, or you did?
Oh, absolutely. I had to put everything together.
Okay. And you're saying that just
Matt,
very like this
I'm
morning.
just very honestly telling you not to step on it,
That-
no
I
matter
get
how
that.
good it feels, because you'll ruin what I did, and I don't want you to do that.
I can't afford that. Not with my
It-
other
it
health
is
problems.
highly comminuted. The articular surfaces were sheared off the bone, and it looks really good. So I don't want you to step on it because it feels good in 2 weeks.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just being very frank and honest with you because I was there inside your knee, and I know it better than anybody else knows it. And I'm asking you not to step on it until I tell you otherwise.
I won't.
Okay.
Okay.
Some people just don't listen,
No,
and some people, you know.
I have other health issues.
All
This
right.
is not something I can afford to play with because I
Understand.
already have circulation issues. I don't need to go through any complications.
Gotcha.
I had such a deep question. What was that deep question? So, cartilage. Oh, so like this morning, I used to work out a lot until this last August. I got injured on my back. I got too much testosterone acne. So, anyways, I got rid of that. And so I'm a big believer in eating a lot of protein to get the. And when I had to heal this wound from venous ulcer, I ate lots of salmon, protein diet. Anything you're aware of that could help me enhance.
I believe in a well-rounded diet, and if you're eating your vegetables with your beefs and your proteins and your milk and you're getting your
Protein
cheese.
shakes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting a well-rounded, if you're getting a well-rounded, healthy meal more than
Well,
anybody else.
I do. It's like for clotting issues, believe it or not, salmon really makes a huge difference.
I just believe in
especially
a
on
well-rounded meal. I mean, if
Especially
you're
on
getting all the
food.
major food groups, then you should be fine. So people that go to McDonald's every day, those are the people I worry about.
No. That's I mean, I stop eating once a month now, but not very often.
I mean, like home-cooked, healthy meals. That's all you got to do.
I do. I would do a lot of protein shakes. But I've learned being on Coumadin, the vitamin K has a huge effect on what you eat with clotting problem.
And you might, the medicine doctor might recommend you go back on it. I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea.
Well, I don't want to necessarily go back on Coumadin, more just I want to get back on my Plavix, but I don't have any.
Plavix works on your
Well, you give me-
arterial side, sir. Plavix is arterial-sided clotting.
Oh.
Coumadin, and Lovenox are venous-sided clotting drugs. So Plavix works well in your artery side.
You're the
It
first
keeps your-
person to tell me that. In
I'm not
25
even
years.
that kind of. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. That's. I mean, a vascular.
Or maybe they have something I forgot it.
Okay.
So continue.
Yeah. So the other two work on your venous side of clotting. I assume most of your clots were venous in nature, and that's more severely affected by Lovenox and Coumadin. Plavix makes your platelets not sticky, and that's typically an arterial-sided thing.
Okay, that makes so much more sense because my stepmother here in Dallas just had a stroke, and he keeps talking about the artery vein in her brain is, or it's real bright on the X-ray, where it's obviously a narrow path, and that's why her Plavix is so important because it's on the arterial side.
Yeah.
Why? That's amazing that I did not know that after 25 years.
Yeah, your hemonc doc or whoever's been taking care of your clotting stuff should be well more versed than me about such things. So please ask that
I'm
person.
going to have to find a different one. I'm not been very happy with the one lately.
Okay. So I encourage you to work with them with such. I'm going to keep you on at least 3 weeks because I think you're high risk.
Yes.
And at least 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks is minimum, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
There's very few. If you weren't, without your history, I'd have you on it while you're here. As soon as you're up on crutches, I would DC it at a person your age without any risk factors.
No.
But you're like the other end of the spectrum.
I am. 100%.
And so 3 weeks minimum, and that's just me saying minimum. Okay?
Right.
That's why I'm saying the medicine docs might recommend you go on Coumadin for a long period of time because you're not going to really be walking on this leg for 3 months, making you at risk for 3 months. Venous stuff on this side for 3 months.
Okay.
So that's, I mean, I'm a bone guy. I made your leg straight. I don't really want to be deciding your treatment of your DVTs.
Okay.
Whether
I'm
it's 3 weeks.
That.
I know. I'm just kind of trying to. I do enough other
Let me
things.
ask you a question then. So, I live alone here. You talked to my mom. She's going to ask you some simple questions. She's just trying to understand whether she should jump on a plane tomorrow or Monday.
No, I'll call her right now. I just got busy last night. My daughter came into town. It's just one of those kind of things.
We figured you got busy. That's exactly what we thought. Or you just wanted to get the hell out of here on Friday.
It was all of the above. It was all of the above. Just like when I met you late in the day fishing before I went home. I felt exactly that way yesterday when I was done with my surgeries here. It's just the nature of working all day,
I understand. I want you to be alert.
I couldn't be any happier with the way your x-rays look.
Really?
By the way. I couldn't be any happier for where they look. The way they look underestimates the amount of damage, and that's why I've been beating you over the head a little bit with it. To not step on it, even though it looks so good, I'm scared it's going to feel really good.
I don't want to. I want to follow exactly what you say.
All right. Fair enough. I believe you. I trust you. I can tell by the way you're talking about it. But that's why I'm showing you and then telling you. Just because it looks that good now doesn't mean you can't ruin it if it feels good. All right. Fair enough.
There's too much risk because if I get another clot and the guy has to go in there and clean it out,
you're right.
I don't want that to be messed with right now.
You're at high risk for clots.
That alone for another year or so.
I understand.
The expectations, or what's the lifespan of this? Because, let's just say, if I'm lucky to make it to 65 or 70 without some stupid blood clot.
Looking at your hardware and looking at your construct and what I created yesterday, I don't see why that would ever need to come out unless you need a total knee there someday. If you don't step on it, your joint stays that well reduced and heals like that, I don't think you're going to have a lot of arthritis in that knee. I don't think you're going to have a lot of long-term trouble with that knee.
Okay.
Because I can see how currently it looks, and right now it looks basically anatomic.
Really?
Which is what you want. When your joint line is that perfect after that bad of a fracture, it's a good thing.
Okay.
Okay? So it's just staying off it for 3 months. You're going to have some stiffness. We're going to have to work through that knee stiffness with therapy. It's going to take time. It's probably going to take multiple months to get the atrophy, to get the muscle back from being atrophied for 3 months. So you're going to know me for at least a year.
That I'm fine with. So, but for now, what my mother were just briefly discussing before we even had a chance to see you this morning, and then you'll give her a call.
Well, I'll call her as soon as I walk out of here. I'll call her.
My mind to her thought process was, let's see if he can help me get into some type of rehab facility locally here, or whatever. There's something here for 2 weeks.
I think that's the best plan.
You wanted to see me in 2 weeks.
You need to come see me in 2 weeks to get your sutures out.
She's not driving all the way back up from San Antonio. She says, you can fly up. I said, well, she says, but how are you going to handle it? I said, well, there's wheelchairs at the airport, and then I can just get here. But
I think it's better to stay here for a couple weeks. Absolutely.
I would be busy physical therapy here versus when I'm at her house. I may not do as much. But once I get down there, I guess I can find another physical therapy location there.
Correct. They probably have even a sister. Whatever you start here, they probably have a sister there if you really want to be in the same system. But really, it comes down to what's closest for you, because then you're going to go.
Well, yeah, no, it's absolutely imperative I go.
Yeah.
Because
so
I was just about to April 1st. I was hoping to start the gym, but my stepmom had a stroke here in Dallas. So I've been putting that off to the side. So we're supposed to do surgery for her to try to fix her brain aneurysm this week. Someone else is going to handle this now. So my thought process, and you tell my mom the same thing, is maybe just help me find a place to stay for 2 weeks here.
Well, the case managers that work here, you haven't probably met them yet, and it's a weekend, and that's not a case management's kind of a quiet on the weekends. You're going to be here through the weekend anyways, but a case manager may come in this weekend and start talking to you about what's next. Some people in your state go home, some people don't, and you got more medical problems than most, and it's going to be harder for you. So in my dictation, I'm sure I already dictated patient will most likely require short stay in a rehab facility following his acute hospitalization, because that's what I say all the time when I think people are going to need that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm sure that's blurted out of my mouth in my plan for you. So I'm sure I've already recommended that, but the case managers haven't just talked to you yet about that.
That's fine. So that's probably going to be Monday, which I'm not worried about.
It might be this weekend. If they come in on the weekend, I'll ask the nurses to have them come in and start chatting with you so they can start working on a place for you come Monday or Tuesday.
Okay. And
the problem sometimes going to rehab, it's hard to get to rehab with a non-weight bearing extremity, because you're not going to be working that extremity. You're going to be working the rest of you.
That's fine.
And so, but with your medical history, you might qualify for an SNF or rehab. I don't know. I would prefer you go to rehab to get the rest of you stronger, but
I'm on
I don't make those
disability.
Choices. Oh, that's
I have
right.
my private disability, but when you're on private disability, they also make you file for Social Security as well, which I did not want. I bought my own policy purposely for you. When I was 19, I did.
I understand.
You never know.
No, I got disability insurance. I understand.
Thank God I did.
Yeah.
So my point is I do want to get back in the gym because I lost so much muscle tone. So my question to you: 2 weeks rehab here, then I would continue to, if I'm lucky to do some type of rehab down to San Antonio. What would you recommend total rehab time?
Just a couple weeks,
Really?
and then you'll be getting around safely with crutches on your own.
Around the house.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad help me.
Yeah, you're a young guy. You're a young guy, believe it or not. You're still on the younger side of things. I know it doesn't always feel that way to even myself some days, but you are. So they're not going to let you just kick back at rehab for weeks and weeks and weeks. Because it becomes a fight with your insurance company or the government.
Medicare, yeah, Medicare.
So the government's going to want to kick you. It's all about the government.
24 days or something.
The government's, all in charge of this. It's all about money.
Yeah, right. And that's the truth. But what I'm saying is, once my mom comes picks me up in 2 weeks from now, takes me down there, I need to stay off this for 3 months. It's perfect for me to stay there because
as long as you're doing PT,
and she can help me get to PT.
That's all you need to do. Work on getting that thing to move.
Okay. Would you talk to who I go see down there and give me
therapists? You have a common injury. It's not uncommon what you have, what you need. Your script that I'm going to give you at the 2 week point is going to say non-weight bearing, range of motion, passive, active, assisted, active range of motion exercises with no weight bearing. They're going to understand you have a tibial plateau fracture, and this is the standard of care.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't need to talk to a physical therapist to tell them to bend your knee without letting you walk on it, because it's going to say that on my script that I give you in 2 weeks when you're in my clinic.
Okay.
Because we're going to take x-rays and look at your wound in 2 weeks and take your sutures out.
Okay. And so, and once I'm down there for that 2 months, I mean, she come and give me in 2 weeks. I'll stay down there maybe for 3 months max, and then I come back home. When I'm down there,
I'll probably have you follow up with me
That's
once
what
in
I was
that
gonna
3 month.
ask
You'll have a 2-week follow up. You'll probably have a follow up 6 weeks after that. So we're getting you right before we start walking on it, just to make sure you're getting some good flexion. If you're that far down, you're making good progress. Do you have to necessarily come up to Dallas to tell me you're doing good? No, that's not necessary. You could wait till the 3-month part, so you come back, get X-rays. I can tell you everything looks great. You can start walking on it. Would that be okay? That'd probably be okay, as long as you're making progress with therapy. If you're doing terrible in therapy, then yeah, I need to see you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But if you're doing great, then come up. Look, doc, it goes 0 to 120. I'm feel great. Do you need to come tell me that at the 6-8 week point?
Right.
No.
Okay.
But if you're having problems, wound issues, a lot of pain, a new change of any sort, not getting much flexion, not getting it all the way straight, stuff like that, then yeah, then I need to get to see it. It's fairly common sense in my mind, but this is what I do every single day.
Okay. After the surgery, I went through one. I'm surprised. I know I drove everybody up the wall here. I apologize to everyone. It was just not crying. It was in so much pain. I guess when they go.
This was right after surgery?
Oh my God!
I didn't hear about that.
From 4:30 or 5 all the way to 9 o'clock last night. I couldn't stop.
This stuff's not working?
The
button?
The diet stall.
Dilaudid.
It's she gave it to me, and I'm still screaming and crying. And she says, "We gave it to you." Like, I mean, she's standing here. She's like, "It hasn't kicked in yet. It hasn't kicked in yet." And I think they finally found a system. Like they got me up 30 milligrams of OxyContin, and what one nurse described it as stacking. Like, let's do this. And stack this,
well, you understand your history of taking OxyContin is going to make your pain harder to control. Yeah, and it's going to be harder for us to control that.
That's why this last 6 months or even less, I've been asking the doctor, let's try to reduce it, because I know later on
you're hurting yourself, sir.
Yeah, I know that.
Without a doubt.
And so I've gotten down from 60 to 30, but today they just put me on.
Well, this isn't the best time to try to quit.
Well, no.
It's after this heals and you've recovered from this, then it's time to
take
quit.
It back down.
Yes.
Yeah. But today they just put me back on 60, and then she gave me a narco. Now I'm a little bit more peaceful. I can talk to you, be normal.
Yeah, you seem pretty comfortable to me, to be honest.
Right this minute, until I start moving. I haven't moved yet.
But I've been touching you enough to know if you have compartment syndrome. I've been doing my little things.
Me 2 hours ago, or 3 hours ago. No, I was pretty hurting. But no, you're right. So it seems like we found a system. My question is, were they calling you and asking?
No, you're admitted to, because of your medical history and your trauma, they probably were calling the trauma docs and the medicine doctors. I'm not alone in your case because of your medical history and because you got in a motorcycle accident. Most motorcycle accidents go to the trauma surgeons acutely. Then they're going to hand you off to the medicine doctor because of your history, meaning your admission's never going to be in my hands. And I'm completely okay with that, because that's less paperwork, sir. And I'm all about being the carpenter. I'm happy being the carpenter and the guy with the drill and the wrench. I like my job. I don't want to do the paperwork and take all the phone calls if I don't have to. I want to do my thing, make things pretty, go home.
Yeah,
I hope you can deal with my bluntness I've had with you since I met you. I bet you've caught me in a busy few days, and when I'm busy, I just am very straightforward and very blunt. I hope you can handle that.
I can handle it.
All right.
I just want you to speak the truth.
Oh, absolutely. No, trust me. You don't ever have to worry about that from me. But I'm just letting you know. I'm speaking to you very bluntly again, just like I did when I met you, and I hope that doesn't bother you.
It doesn't.
Okay.
What I was just trying to grasp is,
I left the room. She came in. She was either getting a call, or one of her compadres, who probably came on at night, was getting the calls. Okay. Because I was not.
Okay.
They luckily let me sleep, so I could do surgery in the morning. Because just like I told you, I get them and then I stack them up and I knock them down. And to take care of myself, if it's not emergent, it goes the next day, so I can get good rest, like you were worried about me getting.
I really was.
People respect my sleepy time here, which is nice.
Yeah. Well, all right. Okay.
All
so,
right.
I guess you'll give my mom a quick call.
I'll give her a call right now. I'll call her right now. I promise.
Okay. She's not as quiz. Well, she is a little quiz, but not as much as I am.
Apple usually doesn't fall too far from the tree, sir.
But I promise you, she's not.
Your case went wonderfully, though.
Thank you. Thank you.